Trump calling Trudeau the governor of the great state of Canada, another apparent reference to his frequent joke of our country becoming the 51st state. Eric Ham joins me now. He's our CTV News political analyst with more. Eric, good morning to you. So Trump does not seem to be putting to rest this joke about Canada. I'm going to call it a joke. What's he getting at? Your reaction to this? Why would he say this again this morning? Is it likely in response to the Prime Minister saying yesterday that we may have to, in Canada, impose tariffs on the U.S. as a retaliatory measure if these 25% tariffs that Trump likes are put into place?
I think when we see Donald Trump use language like this, and he does it over and over again, what this is making clear is that Donald Trump is preparing to go to battle against a perceived enemy. And right now, Donald Trump sees Canada and Mexico as that enemy. And right now, he's using very demeaning language against both countries. Now, it's important to note that what Donald Trump is doing also is he's conflating two very separate issues. He's conflating the issue of the trade imbalance between the two countries, as well as the ongoing migrant crisis here in the United States. Now, it's also important to note that Donald Trump himself is the one who actually negotiated the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement. So if there's any imbalance against the United States, it actually has to do with what Donald Trump actually negotiated. We have to remember, not only did he negotiate that deal, but he was the first one to sign on to it. And so now what we're seeing here is clearly Donald Trump, I guess, thinks that he can get, or he wants, a better deal both on trade as well as on the issue of immigration. And the question is, how far is Donald Trump willing to go to get that? Is he going to try to break up the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement? And also, is he going to go through with these tariffs that would certainly be very debilitating on the United States? And it's also important to note that Donald Trump is not only looking at tariffs against Canada and Mexico, but also against China. So the United States and consumers in the U.S. are looking at right now some massive hurt and pain as if these tariffs actually come down. And Donald Trump has made clear he knows just how debilitating they will be for the economy and for U.S. consumers.
Okay, so some analysts say these comments from Trump are gentle ribbing and we should almost see it as flattery. Others say it's a bullying tactic. How does Canada then negotiate with the U.S., with the Trump administration, when they may not be taking Canada seriously?
Yeah, I think that's the main question that Canada is going to have to answer. Also, too, we know that Donald Trump likes to win every news cycle. And so it's clear he wants to make sure that he stays in the spotlight and top of the mind of the media, which is why we're all talking about this. Because, of course, it's what Donald Trump does on his first day in office and what he does subsequently, I think, is what's going to matter most. Will he actually go through with these tariffs? We know that Canada has already been very aggressive on the migration front. And so, again, the question becomes, what exactly is Donald Trump prepared to do? And is he going to attempt to try to renegotiate once again the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement? In addition to all of that, we already now are seeing that there are barbs being lobbed between Canada and Mexico with some of the comments made by President Claudia Sheinbaum about Canada. And so I think Donald Trump is loving all of this because now what he is seeing is not only is the United States going to war with Canada and Mexico, but now he's got both of those countries fighting against each other. And I think this is now a place where Donald Trump really wants and enjoys being, in a place where there's chaos, and it's chaos of his own making.
And he's not even in the White House yet. Eric Ham, thank you so much. Glad you could join us this morning. Eric is our CTV News political analyst.